YouTube. You are in the den with Aaron EBM. Today we're going to talk about UPS, Teamsters, and the potential deal that they struck. By now I'm pretty sure you heard about UPS and the potential strike that they had threatened. UPS as a company is humongous, is huge. They are responsible for, and them going on strike would cripple a lot of businesses, including the place of business that I am in right now, material planning and logistics. This is what I do as my profession. So I deal with UPS, I deal with FedEx, I deal with LTLs, less than loads, and scheduling different materials to get to the place that I work at now. So I got the news last Friday that UPS could be going on strike and not to send anything through UPS, as well as Yellow. You guys heard about Yellow and the business and them being in such a bad way too. A lot of different business analysts believe that this is just the beginning. It's just the tip of the iceberg for a lot of things to come, and it's the telltale sign of a recession in the economy. Most people really don't pay attention to the news, so you got to really understand what's going on right now. This whole thing sparked up, and this is from an article from Fortune a few days ago, which says 340,000 UPS drivers are about to strike over pay scale that gives part-timers what the Teamsters call poverty wages. Here's a closer look at the numbers. This is a very difficult subject for me because I've been on both sides of the aisle. I've been on the side to where you're entering into a business or a company and you're young and you're fresh, you're green. And of course you want to make the better wages, but you haven't really put in the time. You haven't really earned the place or the position that will earn you those big wages. A lot of companies will actually start you off at lower wages and have you build up into a pay cap or until you're ready to move on into a different position. I don't agree with the whole poverty wage argument when you come into a company, because especially when you're a part-timer, how you go into a business and know the hours that you're going to put in, know the amount of money that you're going to make, then you take that job and then complain that you can't live off the wages that they presented to you. This is what I don't agree with. You know, a lot of people won't agree with me, and that's okay. But you have to realize as a company, these jobs or these part-time jobs aren't there to make sure that you can pay a mortgage, that you can pay a car note, that you can pay a school bill. Anything that you have like that is made for them to pay you what they believe this job is worth. And then you can either accept those wages and that time that they give you, or you can say, no, I don't want it. You can walk away from it. You have the ability. But what I don't understand, that a lot of people act like they don't have any choice but to sign on that line, and then you complain about how hot it is, how hard it is, and you can't make it off the wages that you make. Now, on the flip side, I understand that companies are huge. I understand that they could afford to pay you a little bit more. I get it. I try to be as balanced as I can. Most people don't understand that $20 isn't a lot of money anyway. It seems like a lot of money. I'll say it like this: it is a lot of money at an entry level. If you're young, if you're 17, if you're 18, I don't know how old you have to be to enter UPS positions. I don't know how hard they work, but I have worked in stocking. I did work jobs at Walmart, Big Lots, so I understand what it takes to unload and load trailers in those positions. So I know how hard and strenuous it is. Talks between the International Brotherhood of Teamsters and UPS over a new contract fell apart on July 5th. The union and the shipping and logistics company blaming each other for the collapse. It occurred a few weeks ago after 97% of Teamsters voted for the strike. If the Teamsters and the UPS didn't reach an agreement by midnight on July 31st without a deal in place, more than 300,000 Teamsters will stop working on August 1st. It would mark the delivery service's first strike since 1997. Now, and you're going to continue to see this kind of stuff as the Fed increases interest rates and companies are finding it harder to maintain that original cash flow. You're going to see more and more people be stagnant on giving raises. You're going to see more and more companies get stagnant on hiring. Sometimes you might see them have an influx in hiring that dies down, and those people do get laid off. If you're in the businesses like that, these are things you should pay attention to. If you're in shipping and receiving, material planning, logistics, or you're in any kind of manufacturing at all, this is the ups and downs that you often see through the span of your career in those fields. It shouldn't be anything new. You should pay attention to these things, especially if you're out here working and you're putting in that time and that effort. You don't want to be blindsided by things that happen. You never want to have things just hit you and you're not ready for it. That's why having your business affairs in order will not affect you, at least not impact you in the ways that you believe or that can impact you when you're not ready for it. Philadelphia CNN, UPS and Teamsters have reached a tentative deal on a new contract, potentially avoiding a strike. A labor stoppage could have started as soon as next week and crippled U.S. supply chains and been a multi-million-dollar hit to the economy. Y'all guys wasn't having that. This is what I believe. I don't know. I'm not an insider. A lot of people are consumers, and they weren't going to have their products not making it on time, especially when they're paying for Amazon Prime and all the rest of this stuff for product to move expeditiously through the United States without a hiccup. I believe that's just what I believe. And it said, we've changed the game, battling it out day and night to make sure that members won on an agreement and pays strong wages, rewards their labor, and doesn't require single concession, said Teamsters President Sean O'Brien in the statement. This contract sets a new standard in labor movement and raises the bar for all workers. The deal comes as American labor movement has grown increasingly energized and empowered. The pandemic set lower and middle class U.S. workers' pay surging for the first time in decades, but contract workers missed out on much of the gains. That's why unionized actors, writers, here we go. Actors and writers, they're going to throw them into their. This is where y'all got to be careful. And I will have a movie and video review in Hollywood in a later video, so don't miss that one. But the unionized actors, writers, and nurses, teachers have recently gone on strike, and UPS and auto workers threatened walkouts. In these discussions about union and non-unionized workers, it's really polarized. Either they're completely for unions, people are, or they're completely against unions. Me, myself, I feel like if you're in a union and it's working good for you, for your company, great. I don't think it works great for every company. I don't think it works great for every type of company. It's like this. You need to watch out. Companies know when people are unionizing. Companies often have contingency plans for when people unionize. Don't believe that these companies, these multi-billion-dollar companies, don't have cards under the sleeve ready for things like this to happen. And this seems like a win, but you know, these companies always have some kind of plan, and it might work one day, and then the next day it totally falls apart. This is what people, when you're unionizing or you're trying to unionize, you need to really know what you're getting into before. Can it be good for some? I believe it can be good for some, and people will often tell you that all unions are not the same, and they are not built the same. I'm glad people got what they wanted so far, because it's still pending. You don't know what could happen. As wages plateau, as things, goods, and other services continue to rise, the dollar doesn't stretch, people are going to get upset. People are going to want more. And I can agree that the pandemic really put people in the position, the worker in the position, people were taking their lives into their own hands, either working from home or just saying, look, life was too short. They have relatives pass away and life was too short and they didn't want to live life tied down. Remember that at the end of the day, you have the right to make your own decisions in your life. Regardless if UPS gives them everything they need, it's still their company, and they might not give you everything you need. That's why you need to take the power into your own hands. Make sure you are the master of your own destiny. Don't let people shackle you down, and always have a ram in the bush for your life and your loved ones. Until next time, everybody, pay attention to what's going on out there. Peace.
Rico, rico. Y como dice mi coro que sigue ahí. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Escucha, ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Escucha mi salsa buena.